to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us. To the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairin', gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. One eye open like Fetty Wops and fine to these Urkels that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow, who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us. To the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairin' on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairin' on us, flaring on us.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase. Yeah. Bubba C. Yeah. Ric Flairin' on him. Ric Flairin' on him. Ric Flairin' on him. Ric Flairin' son up.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack, Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man, A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at, no cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts, my advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offer the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walk it, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
Boy Scotty back with another one coming into you live. Happy Hump Day! Man, I don't really care about no Shay. Like I mean, what's the interview about? Because you know I gotta see what the interview's about. If the interview's pretty good, I might just cut it short. see here. What's the interview about? Let me see live. I don't see no. Let's see. I don't see his shit there. Club Shay. Oh. Kel Mitchell and Ty Tribbett. Come on, man, what are we doing? Move it along, sir. Move it along. Who hasn't heard Kel's story? Okay, he did all that. Keenan left him. Okay, he got married. He didn't do nothing. He came back, and now we here. Come on, man. That's what it is. All right, you already know what it is. Your boy Scotty back with another happy hump day, everybody. Listen, we're gonna get right into it. I ain't gonna tell you, I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. You know what I'm saying? My man said get him through lunch. I most happy can, but in the Elite way, make sure you get some Elite 15 coffee. You know what it's sponsored by. You know what it is. Link in the description below. Veteran-owned, black-owned business. Get you some Elite 15 coffee today. Okay? Too damn day. And also, I know you ninjas is black and you pay for what you want. Listen, pay your tithes and offerings. Become an Offscript member, okay? Become an Offscript member. Pay your tithes and offerings, okay? Support the platform. Support the channel. $4.99, $5.99, $9.99, $19.99. What? All the nines, okay? You ain't got. If you ain't balling, you can't do $19.99. Support your boy. Give me a bag of chips, $5.99. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Pay your tithes and offerings, okay? You here? I entertain. I do a little dance and giggle, cow, right? Come on now. Stop playing me. Pay your tithes and offerings, all right? Become an Offscript member. You already know what it is, all right? Now, come on now. Ooh, how Lil Wayne do it? Ooh, it's hot in here today. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your Today is the day that the Lord has made. Okay, I say again, I will rejoice and be glad in it. Today is the Board of Trustees, and one of the dominoes have already failed. Okay, have already failed. Shantae Stroud has been, she has resigned. Okay, she has resigned. Two of her 3 jobs. Bama is vice president of affairs, and then she executive director of the FAMU Foundation Board, and she the dean of School of Business. She let the other 2 go, and she's still the school dean of business, whatever school business dean is. I don't give a damn. The Bama need to be fired. Okay, I don't care nothing about nothing. The Bama need. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your Hey, if I was an alpha, you know you got you got hey, whoo, ha, snake, whoo, ape side. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was an alpha right now. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your You about to I'm doing all that. Ha ha ha! Come on, I'm doing all of it. So it's a pretty good start to step 2. I'll just say that. You know what I'm saying? So listen, man, it's coming too. It's coming all together. It's just coming all together. Let me see. Peace and love and joy. Shout out to you, sir. You are the business of finding your channel. I have been cracking over since you're famous now. Your content has been featured on Roller Martin. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, I bid thee adieu. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Real quick. Okay. Because I know I got to get to the show. But real quick. Right. I told my wife, I always wanted to pledge alpha. I love the black and gold. I really do, right?
But I would want to be an Omega for 30 days. I want to be an Omega for 30 days. The reason is that networking, that Omega Sci-Fi networking is ridiculous. Now, I don't need all the brandings. My skin too sensitive for all that. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like to get shots. So I don't want to have no hooks. I seen Bama's with like 32 different hooks on their chest. Like that ain't me. My skin is too fragile for all that. But if I was pledging, like to pledge, I would be an alpha. For 30 days, though, I would be an alpha. I would be an Omega, and I would, no diddy, I would work that network. Boy, listen, them Omegas are everywhere, okay? They are everywhere. You do a pit bull bark in the middle of a park, all them Bama's come out. They start growling and barking and twirling and necks rolling. And I'm like, that's what them Bama's be getting. That's what them Bama's be getting, neck injuries. They be doing all this, all that neck rolling and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Yeah. Let me get a 30-day trial. like a weight room, like a gym membership. Let me get a 30-day trial. So, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, other than that, if that 30-day trial came with a branding, I'm not doing it. Anyway, today, 3:00, Board of Trustee meeting. I will be streaming it live here on the channel for everybody to see. So if you're not able to get into it through the FAMU Zoom link, you are more than welcome to watch it here. I'm going to have me some popcorn. Okay, I'm going to have me a little drink. You know, I don't drink like alcohol, but I'm going to have me a little drink. You know what I'm saying? You know, little ginger ale, you know, a little ale, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really going to have some popcorn. I'm really going to enjoy this Board of Trustees meeting because I want somebody to get fired. Now, okay, let's get to today's show. Today, you seen the topic, you saw the headline. What we doing?
We're moving on now to the side.
We are moving on. It is moving day. Get your shit in order. Don't nobody like to move, but it's moving day in the CAA. Now, word on the street, right? So you already got the moving of Richmond is already going to the Patriot League, but word on the street on those white paved roads in the suburbs of white supremacy that William and Mary and Villanova will also be moving to the Patriot League. Now, there's a lot of nuance to this, right? There's a lot of nuance to this because let me just say this. The time that I've spent, I see why, let me get my words together. I see why a lot of people, when they go to HBCUs, they come out really enlightened, right? Because you start diving really deep into history and stuff, and you just become a soldier for blackness. You just become a soldier for blackness. And then everything becomes a conspiracy. You start seeing it because you're like, I feel like, let me say what I feel like, okay? This is when you start seeing white people move a certain type of way, right? This is how I start feeling.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
That's my thing. You don't find that suspicious. So let me get back to what I'm talking about. Yeah, let me just get back to what I'm talking about, right? The white people was in the CAA. That was their thing, right? That was their thing. CAA, Colonial Athletic Association, right? They changed it to Coastal, but it was Colonial, okay? Colonial, okay? Now, the ninjas come, right? The ninjas come. You know what I'm saying? What we do, what you know how ninjas do. You know how ninjas do. We up in there now, you know what I'm saying? So we riding in, music playing loud, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Music playing loud and stuff. So we come in doing what we do, you know what I'm saying?
Break them.
You know how we moving in. Because when we move in, you know what I'm saying? Blasting, truck going loud. We done made it, right? We done got to, we in the suburbs now. We with the white folk. You know, you moving boxes with the family. You know what I'm saying? You passing boxes to the family, to your wife, to your kids, because we in a 4-bedroom. We just came from a 2-bedroom apartment. We just came from the hood. 2-bedroom, no grass. We got a front yard. We got a backyard now. You know what I'm saying? So what we doing?
Just waking up in the morning, gotta thank God. I don't know, but today seems kinda odd. No barking from the dog.
It's a good day. It's a good day, but for the white people, it's not a good day. The white people start looking out the blinds. They neighborhood watch, right? So the CAA is like the Bama off belly. I don't like that shit. I'm gonna drop a dime on these niggas. You feel me? Right? So now we here. And it's just really convenient to me. And I'm gonna say it again. What'd you say, Dr. Umar?
Suspicious. You don't find that suspicious. You don't find that suspicious.
You don't find it suspicious that they moved from a league called the Colonial Athletic Association to the Patriot League? That to me just sick. Now, mind you, because I'm jumping ahead. I'm really jumping ahead of my slides, but I just want y'all to feel what I was feeling when I'm hearing the news. The ninjas come. They get settled. And then the white people say, you know what? It is just too much color in here. So we gonna jump ship to the Patriot League. The Patriot League. Now, a lot of you ninjas, y'all don't know what the Patriot League is. This is what's in the Patriot League. Look at the schools in the Patriot League. Lafayette, Holy Cross, Fordham, Colgate, Lehigh, Georgetown, Bucknell. So I need y'all to listen so carefully to me and so close. In the FCS rankings in 2022 put the CAA as the 3rd best FCS conference. I'm going to say that again. Listen to me very carefully. In 2022, Craig Haley, the white man who covers all of FCS, like that is his shit. In 2022, said the CAA was the 3rd best conference, football conference in FCS. These ninjas said, we don't like you so much that we're going to leave the 3rd best conference to go down to the Patriot League, which is behind the white man. Listen to me. The white man, Craig Haley, put the Patriot League behind the SWAC. What'd you say, Dr. Umar?
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Nobody finds that suspicious? Nobody finds that suspicious. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to just say this. It doesn't make any sense. Because if, from what I've been hearing, is that they are leaving the CAA because they said the CAA has become watered down. Watered down. That's what they said. With Bryant, Campbell, Hampton, NCAT, that has become watered down. So, explain this to me. Explain this to me. You're going from one conference that you consider watered down to the Patriot League, which is absolutely ass. Now, I would ass. Now, I get it. Listen, I understand University of Richmond. You tired of coming in second place. You tired of an at-large bid. You go to a bad conference, you become the big dog in the bad conference, right? But if the rumors are true that William and Mary and Villanova are also going over to the Patriot League, then you're literally just moving. You're moving from one watered-down conference to the next. And based off of Craig Haley, you going way down. Way down. Because you are getting at-large bids because of the competition in the CAA. That's why you were getting 2 or 3 at-large bids, because of the competition within the CAA. No different than the Missouri Valley Football Conference, right? Like the one with North Dakota and North Dakota University, all them MVFC Football Conference, whatever, Missouri Valley Conference. I'll just say the Missouri Valley Conference, right? So that in the Big Sky, right? So how? So listen, I'm telling you this right now. If all of a sudden the Patriot League becomes top 5, I'm not believing it. I'm not. I swear to God, Craig Haley, I'm never listening. I'm never reading another one of your reports ever again. You cannot tell me that the 3 teams, William and Mary, Villanova, and Richmond, push this conference in top 10. You can't, I mean, top 5. You can't make it. You cannot make me believe that. Now, if you want to push it over to SWAC, maybe. If you want to make it 8 or 9, all right, cool, because you're like Villanova, Richmond. Richmond lost to Morgan in the MEAC. The MEAC was 14. I'm telling you this right now. If I see a ranking of conferences and all of a sudden the Patriot League is like top 6 or I'm not believing it. I'm not believing it, especially when you got them ninjas at number 11. That's all I'm saying. Now,
We're moving on now to the side.
Now, let's talk about the ninjas. Now, listen. I was talking to a good friend of mine. Now, I'm not saying, I just find it very quinky-dink that every time these 2 ninjas jump in a conference, in a white conference, all of a sudden they get disbanded. I'm not saying, listen, it's one of those situations when you got a homeboy and every time my girl breaking up with me. She doing this, she doing that. Is it really her? Or is it you? Because every time these two ninjas jump into a conference, something bad happens to white people. Every time they go into the Big South, it disintegrates. They gotta merge with somebody else to keep them alive. They jump into the CAA. You would have thought they had leprosy. All the white people jumping out the conference. They got to get. I mean, listen. These two schools have single-handedly disbanded the CAA in 2 years. Literally. They come in, white people get out. And I'm not understanding why is it so. It's like they want to be white so. Okay, no, let me not say that. They want to be in these conferences so bad, and then they end up either getting kicked out or they've overstayed their welcome, right? And they're like, and all the white people are just like, we don't say you. I mean, we don't mind you being here. We really don't. But when you're here, can you at least clean up? Can you at least pick your stuff up? Can you at least, you're leaving your band everywhere. I mean, we're trying to be accommodating to your needs, okay? We understand that you have a particular set of needs that you need. But we have rules here, okay? Listen, you're in a neighborhood with an HOA. You can't leave the car in the driveway with bricks on it. You can't do it. Okay? You gotta get the oil stains up out of your driveway. You gotta keep your grass manicured and lawn. Okay? You can't do what you've done. You can't do what you've been doing and expect white people to just be like, okay, we understand. No, they don't. Now, listen, let me tell you what them Aggie people be like. This how them Aggie people get you. They won't tell you they're wrong. Aggies are like a black woman, right? They won't apologize. They'll just turn over and toot the booty. You know what I'm saying? They won't apologize. They'll just cook you your favorite meal, right? Like that's what Aggie alums are. They're a black woman that won't apologize. They won't ever tell you they're wrong, right? They'll just do stuff to be like, I know you want it. I mean, here you go. Like that's an Aggie alum. They will never admit they're wrong. They've never made a wrong decision in the lifespan of North Carolina A&T. And let me tell you why. Right? Let me tell you why. Let me show you a perfect example of how Aggie people think. Right? This is them. Listen to this. Listen to this. I'm telling you. Listen to this. This is Aggie people. Right? This is Aggie people. Listen to this. A&T is not coming back to the MEAC. Right? He just said that. Listen to what he just said now. If anything, they just have their football team in a different conference, but for now, they're not leaving the CAA. I'm going to say this again. Listen to this. AT&T is never coming back to the MEAC. No, we're never coming back to the MEAC. If anything, we'll just have our football team play in a different conference. Why would you need to play in a different conference if you're already in a conference? The conference that you shelled out money to get to, why do you need to move your football team? Why would you need to move your football team? if this is the conference you wanted to be in. So essentially, we weren't wrong for moving, but we're just going to adjust how we move. Like this don't make no sense. None whatsoever. If you moved to be in the CAA, keep your ass in the CAA. It's no need to be like, oh, well, we'll just move our football team. We'll stay in the CAA. I mean, we love the basketball. We love the field hockey. We love the soccer, that darn baseball. Oh, man. But our football team, we'll just adjust and pivot. Like what? That was the whole reason you took your ass to the CAA, was for football and basketball. If I'm not mistaken, please let me know. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it. But that's AT&T logic. That's an Aggie logic for you. Black woman that won't apologize. No, we're not wrong. We're not wrong. Okay. We just need to be better. We're not wrong. We just need to make better decisions. That means you're wrong. Ninja, that means you're wrong. You're wrong. You messed up. You messed up. Okay? And like Dave Chappelle being Rick James. Come on back. Come on. Ooh, come on back. It's okay. It's okay to say you was wrong. It's okay. Listen, let's just have a little intervention for Aggie fans. It's okay to want better for your program. There's nothing wrong with that. We don't see anything wrong with that. All we're saying is, why not do it with your people? You can still be great and be amongst the people. Because I'm telling you right now, if the CAA dissolves, they're not saving you. Okay? If it comes down to the CAA and y'all, okay, y'all gonna get kicked to the curb. I've never heard of a school being disinvited, invitation revoked, a revoked member, but best believe you would be the first. If it comes to them picking on white schools over them revoking your membership to the CAA, best believe they will revoke you. I don't even know if that's possible, but they'll do it. White people do stuff like that. They'll make it up. And listen, Hampton's in the same boat. Hampton's in the same boat. I keep trying to tell you. I tell y'all all the time what these Hampton is the cousin that got a degree, right? Is the doctor, married the white woman, right? Comes back to the house every now and again. Don't really see him around the family like before. His kids mixed. They don't listen to no black music. You know what I'm saying? They Taylor Swifting it up and Jason Aldean. Like, that's Hampton. Okay, that's Hampton. Let's just keep it a space. That's Hampton. Okay, that's just what the North Carolina A&T is. You married you married a black woman. Okay, you got your engineering degree. You married a black woman, right? But you're just too good to be with the family. You got black kids. They go to an all-white school in the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? You got you a black woman. You got black kids, right? But you're just too good to be around the family. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference between Hampton and North Carolina A&T, right? They married a black woman, got black kids. They out in the suburbs, kids going to all white schools. But, the wife says, hey, babe, why don't we go to the family reunion? They don't really get me. They don't understand me. Ever since I've graduated and I got my job and I drive my Benz and they don't understand me. They don't get me. That's North Carolina A&T, right? Hampton, the wife is like, I've never met your family. Hampton's like, and you never will. That's Hampton, okay? That's Hampton. your wife, Benifer, you know what I'm saying? Becky mixed with a Jennifer, Benifer, you know what I'm saying? That's your wife. And she's like, Devontae, you know, what's wrong? I've never met your mom. I've never met your sister. Why can we go down to the family reunion? Oh, no. We're just fine here. We're just fine here in the upper Idaho section of the world. Come on, man. Stop playing me. Listen, all I'm saying is this. It's not going to dissolve, but what's going to end up happening? It's going to be a mishmash, a mixture of just sorry ass football teams, right? What I'm saying is what the CAA, right? What the CAA was known for is not going to be known for going forward. It's going to be a downsizing of talent, of competition. It's not going to be the same. It's going to be a mixture of just average schools, right? Beating up on each other. So if that's the case, you might as well do that in the MEAC. Might as well just do that in the MEAC. A bunch of average teams beating up on each other, right? You can do that in the MEAC. Because to me, I look at it like this. If North Carolina A&T is the fourth best team in the CAA, you're still not going to the playoffs. You're still not going to the playoffs, right? Like, what if you're not getting an at-large bid, being the fourth best team in an average-ass conference? The CAA won't be what the CAA used to be, right? So why be there? Why be there? That's my little spiel on everything. Just why be there? All right, Mr. Levesque, coming to you.
What's up, Scotty?
What's up? Talk to me.
So here's my question, man. So I've watched your show. First of all, great show, great topic. Knew you was gonna do one. Waiting on it. I've watched you beat up and discuss and talk trash about the leadership of the MEAC and how you hate how the commission doesn't know what she's doing and all this, that, and the third.
I agree. You're right.
If you don't think that she's a competent leader and you've pointed out time and time again the problems that she's done, why would you think we would go back to the MEAC?
I'll say this, right? So yes, I don't think Sandra nor Dr. Charles is competent to do their jobs as commissioners. And I'm being on both ends of that, right? And clearly Joe D'Antonio ain't the best as a CAA commissioner. Let's just be honest with that. But I think there's more value in you all going back to the MEAC than you guys mixing around with the whites. I just think that you add more value to the MEAC than adding value to the CAA. You know what I'm saying? So that has nothing to do with Sanja, even though I agree, like the commissioner still plays a part in everything, but the value that you bring is 10x in the MEAC than it will ever be for the CAA. That's just my cup of tea. So I just feel like there's more value there than is the MEAC than there is the CAA. But go ahead.
If Villanova loses, they're football only, right? So they leave. They only affect football. So that takes you from 15 football teams to 14 football teams. Now, if William and Mary leaves, that's going to be a kind of a problem because they're a full member. It's going to raise some flags. But the conference isn't dead. I will agree it's going to be a little more watered down. I call it Big South 2.0.
That's fair.
It's going to be like, it's going to be Campbell, Elon, Hampton,
Albany,
Monmouth, Stony Brook, Bryant, Townsend, like Maryland, New Jersey, North Carolina. Is what it is.
But my thing is
but
this.
But
my last point is this. If you can't get over the hump, then what are you there for? You get what I'm saying? Like if you're just the fifth best team, now I get it. You guys are super competitive in basketball. You're super competitive in bowling, or I don't think y'all bowl for them. I think y'all bowl in the MEAC, right?
No, we bowl in the MEAC.
Yeah, y'all bowl.
We bowl in the MEAC.
So you're super competitive in baseball. You're competitive in basketball. So I get it. Why you're just not like, all right, we can still handle our own. But football, if you're like the fifth or sixth best team, and understandably, football is the money maker for most of these sports. I just don't understand it. That's just I don't get it.
But if the power boys are leaving, right? All the big boys is leaving, then we have a chance to rise to the occasion.
You couldn't even beat the little boys.
If we rise to the occasion, it's still an auto bid. We still can go to the playoffs.
Bro, you couldn't even beat the little boys. Like that's what I'm saying.
Hey, man, we're rebuilding, man. Be nice. We rebuilding.
Okay, Mr.
Hey, look, Prairie View was 0-88 for years. Didn't win for like 9 years, and now they in the SWAC championship every other year. So look, it can happen, bro. Just give us a chance. Okay. Let us do what we do.
All right. Listen, I'm gonna be sitting right here enjoying it. I'm gonna sit right here and enjoy it.
I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna take it off.
All righty. Hey, Coach Greg, coming to you.
What's up, Scotty?
What's up?
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth when you talk about the commissioner at the CAA. Took the words right out of my mouth. I sure was gonna mention it, man, because he ain't no better.
He ain't no better. He
did on down.
Yeah, he ain't doing no better. I mean, I do like the flow sports. I do like flow sports. I feel like if that's a secondary right thing, I think that'd be a great deal. But a primary right thing, I wouldn't really go for that. But go ahead.
Yeah, but this is what I wanted to mention because people overlooking this part. The CAA used to be known in basketball because this is like deja vu happened on the football side. The CAA basketball side was very good at one point. So they had VCU, Hosper, George Mason, I think somebody else. But when them teams left, the CAA became an average conference because they was able to get two teams in the NCAA tournament when them teams was in. And now they just average mid-major conference. Ever since them three teams break out their name, they all left the conference and went to the A10, I think it is. So this is basically what's happening on the football side. They lost all the powerhouse teams, and now they just because like I know the CAA was known as a pretty good conference when it comes to football, along with the Missouri Valley and the Big Sky.
Yeah, the Big Sky.
They was up there with them. They was up there. Now they're coming down with everybody else.
Everybody else coming down with the lowly folk. Come on down here with the lowly folk. That's what they're doing. But that's my thing though.
They basically the new Big South.
That's what Mr. Levesque said, the Big South 2.0. And my thing is this, like, you don't bring value to those, like, okay, being in the CAA for basketball brings you value, right? It brings A&T value for their wins, however good they are. If they can compete at that level, that's great for them. Football wise, it doesn't bring you anything when you can't compete. It just doesn't. So like Blue said, right? Or Zach McKinnell. Zach McKinnell said, just take the football back to the MEAC and stay in the other sports, which makes sense. You bring value to the MEAC in football, and then the CAA brings value to you in basketball. That to me, that is a perfect segue for what they want to do. But they're just so stubborn that they don't want to do it.
Yeah, not really in basketball. They don't bring that back. The value haven't been the same since them teams left. Because they still a one bid team now. They still a one bid lead.
What I'm saying,
you only up there. Take like the conference Gonzaga in. They get 2 teams in every year, sometimes 3. And that's not no big powerhouse conference. That's what the conference that Gonzaga is in is what the CAA used to be. They're the same. Right now, the CAA is basically the same type of conference as every other mid-major conference that just get one team in. So the value is not there unless you get more than one team in. That's the only time you have value as a conference, when you get more than one.
Listen,
but when you just get one, you get an average conference.
But you can still have, great basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, CAA is a great basketball conference. Like, I get what you're saying, that they're not having 2 and 3 bids go to the NCAA, which most mid-majors are not, right? Like, most mid-majors are not. But at the same time, they do have good basketball. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's okay. Now, if you want to, like, it's the question of this, right? It's the question like Tamika Reed. Do you stay at the SWAC and dominate and always get your automatic bid to the conference, to the NCAA tournament, or do you go to Charlotte, right, kind of, mingle around to see if you can make it to the conference finals and then get into the NCAA. It's up to you. And I think for the NCAT, I could go back to the MEAC and always be in contention for a NCAA bid, or do I go to the CAA and do I fight my way to be the third, fourth best team? It is your decision. It is what you find value in.
Yeah.
It's just really what you find value.
But I can give you another example of a conference with value. I'll give you another conference that you probably even think about, because they not even at their level. Ohio Valley, when they had Murray State and Belmont, when they both are playing well, both of them teams get in. When they average, they just get one. But when they are at the top, they get two teams in every time. CAA has not done that since they powerhouse teams left. So it's just like, it's basically the Sun Belt in basketball, regular conference.
Well, we listen. However the Aggies see it is how they see it. And listen, I'm not upset at them if they say, the white ice is colder. I'm not mad at them when they say it for, basketball or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's their decision. That's how they feel about it. But at the end of the day, I just think they bring more value to the MEAC because of the brand.
This is my last thing though. I like that tweet that BJ did.
Oh, with the LeBron and Dwayne Wade. Yeah, that was funny. We in this together.
That's really A&T right there. Hey, we both in it. We good.
Yeah.
Have to I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that at all. But hey, appreciate the call, Coach Green. And I'm glad Coach Green brought that. Great segue to my second point. Listen. Now, I'm not one to gossip. I'm not one to gossip. But word on the street, the literal street, is that Hampton has been having convos with the MEAC low key.
Oh, goddamn.
So listen, them bougie Bama said, hey man, listen, it ain't working like we thought it was gonna work. It ain't looking like we thought it was looking. Now the thing with me, listen, man, this is the one thing I can respect about North Carolina A&T. North Carolina A&T, they gonna tell you in your face, we good, right? Now they might be in some shit, right? They might be broke. They might be spending their last dime. They living check to check, right? But they gonna tell you, now we good, we straight. Hampton, on the other hand, they just so underhanded, right? They'll go to North Carolina A&T and be like, hey man, listen, we still good. You good? I'm good because I love the CAA. I love the CAA. And then A&T like, yeah, I love the CAA too, man. All right, my ninja, right? Then they go to the MEAC. Hey, Sandra, that deal still on the table? Like you cannot trust Hampton. You Hamptonians, Hamptons, you can't trust them because they'll tell you one thing and they'll completely do something else. And that is what it's looking like. Hampton been making these jumps. Hampton been making these moves first all along. Hey, we here. Hey, now we good. We here. Oh, we And then now all of a sudden they about to go back to the MEAC and say, hey, we want to come on home. Now, Erica, shout out to you, Erica. She said she would make it very difficult for him because she hazes. She said, I haze. That was a funny tweet. Listen, just let them Bamas back in. Like Sanja, first of all, Sanja don't got no pull to be like, no, right? Sanja ain't got no pull to be like, no, we're not. No, ma'am, stop it. That Elite Eight, it sounds cute, but it is not cute, okay? Your Bama's got 5 teams, okay? 5 teams. 5 for football. Let's not do this, all right? Just take it. Just take them back, okay? You just need the bodies at this point, okay? I don't give a damn if it was freaking Edward Waters. You just need bodies. You need why y'all Bama's are playing 5 conference games for a chance at the Celebration Bowl. Okay. Just take them back. Just take them back. It's okay. It's all right. Just take them back. You need the bodies. And Hampton, go back home. Okay? Prodigal son, go back home. Just come back in. Everything good. All right? It just is what it is. Oh, I be forgetting about Delaware State. God almighty. I swear to God, I forget about Delaware State all the time. They need to just go to the NEC. Listen, okay. I keep jumping in front of my slides. Let me say this. Y'all not going to like this, but I believe this needs to happen. If Hampton goes back to the MEAC, you need to take Campbell with you. Sandra Steels, please, for the love of God, you got to look at this as a business move, right? Because the white conferences do not care that they are black schools. They like, hey, you want to participate? No problem. Come over here. And we need to be in the same way. You need to take Campbell, and I would get Elon too. I would get Elon and Campbell, and I would bring them ninjas. They are right in my footprint. They're in my footprint. It would be perfect. I would give Delaware State away to the NEC. Give them away. You pay pennies on the dollar. Take them. Please take them. Right? Because nobody wants to go past Maryland. Nobody. Get Campbell. Get Elon. Right? And bong. We rolling. We rolling. Towson too. I wouldn't mind Towson either. Right? Come on, man. Come on. Like, ain't we rolling? Still call the MEAC. All that. We Gucci. Man. I would do that power move so fast. Definitely Campbell. I'm definitely taking Campbell with me. Right? Invite the white boy to the cookout. Invite the white boy to the cookout. All right? Not everybody likes raisins in their potato salad. Sometimes they Bama wants some mac and cheese. Right? Keep Delaware. For what? Keep Delaware State for what? For why? There's no reason to keep Delaware State. Keep Delaware State for what? What about the Celebration Bowl? If they that good, they that good. Beat the white team. Simple. Like, what are we doing? I hate, like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, why does it always have to be all black? Why does it have to be all black? That's the part that y'all never gonna make me understand. Like, it don't have to be all black. You just want to make it competitive. The CAA is all white. They let black people in. The Big South was all white. They let Tennessee State in. Why can't we let the white people into the conference? We ain't trying to. The white people don't let the black people oversaturate the conference. It still don't make them less white. Why can't we bring in a white man, a white team? They ain't gonna oversaturate the blackness. They just gonna have to step their band game up. They don't even gotta step the football up because they're competitive. The only thing they gotta change is the band. Hey man, listen, we take the band pretty seriously around here. So make sure you got some grooves. Make sure you can do a little something, a little something, a little something. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it comes down to. Is they gotta win the band, win the band thing. Oh man, y'all, this all black stuff be killing me. So I would take Campbell. I think Campbell, Elon, I think all them things, they in your footprint. It works. It makes the football good, right? Campbell's been average, but the football in the MEAC is average, right? It's average, above average. I'll say above average. Football wise, right? It's above average. And I think Campbell just makes it. I think Campbell just makes it a little bit more competitive. Not a little bit more. They can compete. They're not as bad as Delaware State, and they're not as good as NCCU in their heyday, or if everything is clicking with South Carolina State, right? Like they're not as good as them clicking on all cylinders. So they're right in that mix of Morgan and Howard and all. They can compete. They could compete if Campbell made it to the Celebration Bowl. You know, it'll be a fun time. I'll go watch. It's gonna be black, but it's gonna be black people on the field. You know what I'm saying? The black national champion. You know what I'm saying? Campbell. Or you just call it the Celebration Bowl champion. You don't got to call it the black national champion anymore. That's just my personal opinion, So that's how I feel about it. So let me just say this. We see what's coming. We see what's coming. We see what's coming. We see what's gonna happen, right? Joe D'Antonio, CAA commissioner, right? Bama said we go. William and Mary, Delaware, Richmond, and Villanova said we out. It's too much color in here, right? Now, I feel like I might get a lot of phone calls on this last piece, but listen, I know I've talked about it, right? I know I've talked about it. I know people don't believe it. All right, says in a few years, conferences are even going to insist that the Pac-12 or 10 exists anymore. It does not. It's the Pac-2. I feel like the situation told you about the future conference's thoughts. No, I agree. Alexander Wilson, I appreciate this comment. Listen, conferences are going to matter, but you're going to see it like the Power 4, the Power 2, right? They're just going to dwindle down. And this is my thing, right? I'm going to say this, and Alexander went right into my point, right? Is listen, it's going to have to come, right? It's really going. I know people do not like to hear this, right? Like the faithful don't, but you gotta keep up with the times, and just in everything that you're seeing in business is all about merging. Everything in business is about merging. And I'm saying this right now. There has to be an HBCU super conference. I'm just telling you this right now. You can say whatever you want. You can talk about it however you want to talk about it. But there has, at some point in time, there's going to have to be an HBCU super conference, because you do not know the landscape of what is coming down the pipeline. You don't know what that's going to look like. You do not. And just because you might be ranked the 10th or 14th when it comes to football conferences, your brands, your attendance, if you can get 5 of the top 10, right? 5 of the top 10 programs with the attendance in one conference, it's great. It is absolutely great. And it has to, listen, okay, so this is my thing, right? Listen, please don't call in my line or put in the chat, Scotty, how are you? How is this going to work? How is this structured? I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I don't know how you would structure it. I don't know if it's a pod system, if it's a whatever. I do not know. All I know is that it needs to be talked about in having it. And let me tell you why, right? Let me tell you why I'm so for it. The reason I'm for it is this. When you add all the brands together of a North Carolina A&T, of a Jackson, of a Southern, of a Grambling, of a South Carolina State, of a FAMU, right? The value is going up. Your value is going up, right? And you pretty much have to treat it like you could. If you got, how many teams I got here? I got, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you want to take Campbell out, you can. I like Campbell in it, but if you want to take it out, that's fine. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I got 17 schools here. Whit Campbell makes 18. If you don't take Campbell and you take a Morehouse or Clark Atlanta or something or Virginia State, that makes 18. 9-9 is not bad. An 18 team super conference is not bad. I wouldn't even be mad if it was 20, 10-10. I wouldn't be mad at that, but 18 is not bad, right? And you could keep it literally. Oh no, I'm sorry. My bad. Oh shoot, I definitely left Jackson State off here. I'm sorry. So it would be 19. So 18 with Jack State. My bad. So take Campbell off, put Jack State there. It's 18. Thank you so much. All right. So put Jack State up there. That's my fault. So now you got 18 teams, right? You got 18 teams. You go 9-9. You still listen. You still have the Celebration Bowl, right? You still have the Celebration Bowl. You can still do your own playoff system. You can still do your own championship game, right? I believe the Big Ten used to do it back in the day where they would take one side of the conference and the other side of the conference, just like the SWAC does now, right? The East and West, and you take them and you play for the championship. You can do the same thing. You just take the 9 teams, put them on their side of the bracket. They work through it. Whoever comes out, that's your championship game where your top 4 teams now play for the Celebration Bowl, right? So now you got bowl games. Like it's possible. It is possible, right? It is possible. I mean, what about Company? What about them? They're in the MEAC and they don't play football. It's no different. They'll still be in the thing. It's just I'm talking about football, right? Basketball is basketball, right? You'll add them into the basketball conference, right? Like in the basketball stuff and all the little ancillary things. I'm strictly talking football right here, right? But of course, they'll be a part of it. They're black, whatever. If you want to leave them out, I'll leave them out. Don't bother me none, right? Scotty, I don't like how you have the MAC. Right? So let me explain you the idea, right? Let me tell you why I'm so heavy on merging is because you're seeing it in every major industry. You're seeing more and more of merging, right? And I got to give Josh a lot of credit because he called it. He said, hey, you're going to start seeing a lot more companies start merging together to take away expenses, to take away, because advertisers don't want to go to 15 different platforms to pay for advertising. I'd rather you Bama just come together, right? And put it in one pot and y'all divvy it up accordingly. And you're seeing it. Listen, Netflix, Apple, Peacock will team up for their own streaming bundle through Comcast, right? Through Comcast. That is a bundle. That is a merger. That is them getting together, right? Netflix is not in the cable industry. Apple TV is not in the cable industry. Peacock is not in the cable industry. But they see value in saying, hey, we can get subscriber money. We can get, channel subscription money or whatever, however they're going to figure that out and how they're going to deviate the money or whatever, right? And and also the federal internet subsidy is going to end in, I believe, the end of May or beginning of June, right? Which the federal subsidy was that they paid for your internet if you couldn't afford it or anything like that. So the Netflix and Apple and Peacock are trying to come together and get into that market, right? Of just like the low income, hey, you need help, we got you, right? They're going to get us a piece of that money as well, right? What about travel costs? Well, that's why you split it up accordingly, right? It's like I wouldn't put Morgan on the west side, right? They're going to stay on the east side, but you might cross play, right? You'll cross play a team. Like Morgan might have to go to Louisiana, right? Once or twice. You know what I'm saying? Like they might have to go to the Southern. Southern might have to go to Morgan. Right? But it's not a continual thing. It's not something continual. It might be one out of conference game that they might have to play a cross rival, right? So it can be like this. If you got 9-9, right? Let me break this down. Let me see if I can break this down real quick. Right? So if you got 9-9, right? So your 9 would be on the east side, it would be Morgan, Howard, South Carolina State, Norfolk, and you could probably add some Alabama teams in there, right? You probably add some Alabama teams in there, or maybe Tennessee State, however far you want to go over, right? Add the Alabama teams in there, move them to the east side, or however you want to do it. Maybe push Morehouse up. It's in Georgia or whatever, however you want to do it, right? So that gets you at what? You already got 5. You got 5. Delaware State goes to the NEC. They're not in it. If you add Tennessee State, so you'll need 3 more teams. I think if you took both of the Alabama teams and moved them over, wouldn't be too bad, right? So now you're at 8. So something around there, maybe another team, something like that, right? Add both Florida schools. I think FAMU listen, I would say this. I would leave Bethune-Cookman on that side, in the MEAC side, or on the east side, and keep FAMU on the SWAC. I think FAMU is more SWAC. I think Bethune is more MEAC. 74-31. I'm gonna give me like 5 minutes. I'm coming to you, right? So I would leave Bethune, but I would keep FAM on the west side with the SWAC. They're just more SWAC based to me. But if you want to do it regionally, I would go over Alabama over and kind of keep it in that side. And then you guys play each other. That would be your in-conference stuff, right? So you'll play your in-conference games or whatever. And maybe you'll have 2 out-of-conference games, right? Because you got 9 2 out-of-conference games. One is a cross rival, and one can be another FCS or a Power 5 program, or both could be a Power 5 program, right? Like I would figure out some way like that. 74-31 coming to you. I call you live.
Yo, Scott, it's Bridges.
What's up, Bridges?
What's up? So, like, what you saying, like, as far as that, like, each school has their rivals, and there are 2 teams they always play, like that's their secondary rivals. So each team would keep their rival games and their secondary rival games as far as, like, during the season. Then all you have to figure out is whatever comes first, or wherever can you fit the schedule as needed. Because, like, all these schools can do a home each year. Then the next 2 years, just switch it up. So you just keep your 3 marquee games that you always keep. Like, FAMU got to play Southern, got to play Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah.
And
probably
Jackson in there.
And Jackson, yeah.
Yeah, but then, like, you just figure out everybody else just kind of, like, falls in place. So, like, it will be easy as long as you have your 3 marquee games that you know you're going to make money off of, and everybody falls in place. It'll be easy to schedule.
I don't have listen. I feel like there's too many smart people in the world that they can't come up with something that makes this work. And let me say this, it just kind of came to me. All right, you got the 5 in the MEAC. I gave Delaware State away to the NEC, right? So you got 5 in the MEAC. You got North Carolina A&T. You got Hampton. They come back, and then you add Bethune-Cookman. That's 8 right there. You get what I'm saying? That's if they came back into the conference. So you got Hampton, North Carolina A&T, Bethune-Cookman. I will push them to the west side, and then if you want to keep Delaware State, that makes I don't really want to. And Tennessee State. So yeah. So 5, Tennessee State, North Carolina A&T, Hampton, and Bethune-Cookman. That gives me 9. Yeah. So. And you leave that on the west side, and then you take everything in the SWAC. You keep everything in the SWAC. They're 9 in the SWAC because I dropped Valley and I dropped UAPB. So you will take those, and then you'll make it work. You make it work.
Yeah, bro. It can work out. It's just, people being stubborn and people don't know. They act like they don't know how to do certain things. Like this, this is, I mean, the hardest part is just getting a contract. That's really the hardest part about it. Getting a contract, making sure everybody on board. But like the rest of it is just it's easy because the fans gonna be all hype. Everybody else gonna be on board. Like you said, that tennis is gonna be
crazy.
Yeah, because now we're seeing games that we wasn't going to get unless we go to the celebration mode. So like, you know what I'm saying? So like this is the hard part is the contract. The easy part is just scheduling the games and the fans come.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, appreciate the call though, B.
All right, peace.
All right, peace. Listen, all right. A lot of you Bammers don't know your states, right? A lot of you Bammers don't know your states, so let me help you out. All right. Let me stop here. Stop. Let me turn my mouse on. All right, so let me show that. Boom. Share screen, window, boom. All right, y'all should be able to shoot. Let me see. Entire screen. Boom. Here you go. All right, y'all should be able to see this. All right, so let me blow this up a little bit. All right. This is Tennessee, right? This is Tennessee. This is Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. That is not that bad of travel, right? This is not a bad region right here. This is Georgia, right? Tennessee. So if you got Maryland right here, right? So you got Morgan, Howard, right? You got Virginia, you got Hampton, Norfolk in here. You got NCCU, South Carolina State, Tennessee State, North Carolina A&T. I mean, like this is a great region right here. That's not like I get people want to say because I think Memphis is like right here, right? It's still not bad. It's still not bad. So I get why you say that it could be in the SWAC, right? But the hardest part would be Daytona being down here, right? Bethune-Cookman being down here would be the farthest trip. So it just is what it is in my personal opinion. So yeah. And Smash asked me, yeah, I'm glad you called in, Smash. I was just about to answer your question. You said where Valley and UAP, they going to D2, my boy. Gotta go to D2.
Man, I'm off with what you're saying, Scotty, because I've been saying this for a minute, but I just want you to give Tennessee State to the SWAC and keep both of FAMU and Bethune-Cookman over there with that shit. Like they've been. Like they be over them in the MEAC. It's easier for them. And the same way you say, I see why you say FAMU is SWAC, but they're still more MEAC to me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because I'm still not used to them being in the SWAC and it's been working for so long. Bethune-Cookman, these games are going to be crazy because you're going to be able to see matchups that you just don't see. Like an NCAT and Southern game will go crazy simply because you never see it and it's going to be fire. I like anybody versus NCAT for real, for like a Jackson State NCAT game might go crazy. And I'm thinking bands too, so I'm thinking about the trains of passengers going to travel.
Of course you thinking bands. Of course
but those people don't travel anyway, so like they just need to stay over there. You know what I'm saying? Now maybe if the conference can fund them to travel to some of these games up north, or I'm not sure, but they don't travel anyway. But you're right, that North Carolina, South Carolina, Atlanta, and Virginia stretch is not that far. Norfolk to Durham is only like 2.5 hours.
You see what I'm saying? So the traveling isn't the travel isn't listen, the travel won't be the worst thing, right? The traveling won't be the worst thing, especially if you're only doing like one big trip a year, right? Like so if you're Jackson going to NCAT or if you're Jackson going to Morgan, right? Like it's only going to it's only that one game a year. Everything else is going to be what you've already done. The reason why FAMU to me has to stay in the SWAC, their football and vibes are just SWAC oriented. They are a SWAC oriented team. Bethune, they are a MEAC oriented team. They don't. It doesn't.
Okay, Scotty. I'm going along with what you be saying too. Sometimes, okay, when you say SWAC origin, let's take the vibe out this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We ain't been kicking SWAC ass out in these celebration bowls, right? Fam, you kind of been dominating the celebration bowl. I mean, the SWAC the last couple years besides Jackson. So when you say vibe, what are you talking about? Vibe or competition?
Competition, I think you need FAMU for the competition. I think you need to make, because I'll tell you this: if FAMU goes over to the MEAC, I don't think you ever beat. I don't think you ever beat the MEAC in the Celebration Bowl. If I'm being honest, I'm just being honest, because I think the best. I think the best. Yeah, I think the best football will be played in the MEAC. If you bring over NCAT and you bring over Tennessee State will be in the SWAC. But if you said Tennessee State in the SWAC, if you bring over FAMU, NCAT plus NCCU, South Carolina, Morgan, I think their football brand is just better. I think FAMU makes you a better football brand because now you have some of that MEAC style pound, whatever. So, because I think alone, I just think the SWAC in itself is more of a vibe and a party than really caring about football, right? And I think for MEAC, that's why I think it's such a great. It would be such a dope conference because you have we got the vibes and then we got the football. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really what it comes down to. Is like we got the vibes and we got the football and what ends up winning. And I think FAMU going to the SWAC, they can give you the vibes and they give you football. I think there's value in that.
Okay. I think economic wise for vibes, because this vibes being party, travel ban, all this shit. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? But I also feel like the rest of the schools don't have that shit over there besides Norfolk. Now, in NCCU, they'll pop out for an NCAT game, you know what I'm saying? But as far as traveling, and we'll see this to the test when they go to Orange Bottom Classic, because I'm going to be in the building. I'm promising they probably won't travel to that game. But I think the vibes will be needed more from from FAMU to kind of support every team in the whatever these conferences that we start over here in the MEAC. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the SWAC needs the extraness of FAMU, but I think that them cross games still gonna happen. Like you still gonna see a Jackson State, you still gonna pull an Orange Bottom Classic out that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
you still gonna pull up FAMU in Southern. So I think Tennessee State will need more of the help vibe wise because they have the man. You know what I'm saying? They just don't have the. I don't think the fans to travel. I just think
so.
FAMU,
Swap it out. So swap Bethune out with Tennessee State. Mm-hmm. So just give the MEAC back. Give the MEAC back. Tennessee State. I mean, give the MEAC Bethune. Y'all keep Tennessee State, but you got to keep FAMU, right? And then figure out, who's that extra team. Because if I said 9 and 9, so that would be Bethune. Mm-hmm. It would be Bethune. The 5 from the MEAC. Bethune will give you 6. NCAT will give you 7. Hampton will give you 8. And if you keep Delaware State, that gives you 9.
I'll be forgetting about Delaware State up there.
Yeah, for me, I said
absolutely
exactly. I was gonna get them jokers away. I ain't even gonna hold you. I was gonna get the NEC can have them, right? So yeah, you give them that, and then you keep Tennessee State on your side of the wagon because of the ban and whatever, and you can go from there. I think that works. I wouldn't be mad at that. FAMU and Tennessee State game would be lit. Okay, like I would love to see that.
What?
That I would love to see that.
Listen, a FAMU and in Orange Bottom Classic, that was
crazy.
Imagine FAMU coming to the Southern Heritage Classic.
Crazy.
Like, one question. So, with all these conferences, would it be a playoff system? Correct, right?
Yeah, you have to listen. And this is the thing for me is that with the NCAA and the shifting, this is a great time to petition for what you want, right? Like it's a great time to like you're like, hey man, the NCAA is breaking down very slowly. Like their tentacles they're not stretching like they used to because they listen, them Power 5 is beating them up, right? So this will be a great time to petition the NCAA of saying, hey, listen, we see what's coming down the pipe. We can't do that. We can't do the $20 million a year. We can't do none of that. Let us do our own thing and build it out. You oversee it, right? You oversee it. We'll structure it in a certain way, or however you give us the guidance for that. But let us do our own thing so we can maintain our integrity and and play within our financial footprint. You get what I'm saying? Like because we can't do what those other guys do. So we have to adjust accordingly and let us play within our financial footprint and build something that we can sustain outside of what you're asking, the other schools to do. I think it would be great. And this is a great time to start doing that. And to me, if you're a leader and you're seeing how the NCAA is getting bullied right now, listen, this is a great time to make your petition and just say, hey, listen, what if we did this? How would y'all look at this? Those are the things you got to start thinking about.
And Scott, I'm looking at other people in comments. We low key trying to play Valley and UAPB, but actually, when I'm looking at this map right now because I travel a lot, so I understand that this travel is nothing like everybody trying to make it. If Valley and UAPB goes to the let's say for instance of SIAC, that would boost their conference. You mean to tell me you're gonna be able to see UAPB versus Lane, which is right down the street, versus like Miles, versus like Valley. I missed Valley, Fort Valley State. I know it may not seem crazy when you say it, but when you talk economically,
it makes sense.
That should work.
It makes sense. And now UAPB becomes a power threat, right? Like it becomes a threat in the SIAC because of the facilities, of what they can get, who they can recruit. Like you got to put people in their spaces so they can thrive. And now Valley now becomes in that it becomes a threat, right? Because now we just follow the Delta State model. How is Delta State getting these players? How are they doing this? And I think it works. I really do think it works.
And they still can schedule them swag games because they still can pull off an upset. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like anyone in the fucking swag school, that'll be fire. I think I'm rocking with this guy. I just had to look at the map and see it. You know what I'm saying? But I be wanting to keep both of them Florida schools on the same because Bethune-Cookman ain't travel all year. Well, they travel, but they ain't travel no fucking one. I got kids in the band that be mad if they didn't with Bethune-Cookman and stay home all the whole season. But I'm thinking everything, pageantry, the whole nine. But this could be some major money that this conference can make if you start seeing a damn NCAT versus Jackson State or like a damn NCCU versus Grambling. That's pound hard. NCCU versus Grambling.
Yeah.
All right, got them going.
Hey, no, appreciate it, Smash. Appreciate it. Mr. Levette, I agree. I talked to a few ADs, and because a lot of people wanted the Norfolk State and Jack State game, and I asked Ashley. He was like, "Yo, it just doesn't make sense. The travel just doesn't make sense, right?" But think about it like this. It doesn't make sense because it's an out of conference game. If it's an in-conference game, right? Like if it's all underneath that HBCU super conference, right? Then it kind of does make sense just a little bit, but you can still listen. If the SWAC, you can still make it work if you're playing 9 teams. If you're playing 9 teams in your conference in a round robin scenario, right? For basketball, you can do 9 round robins, right? Your out of conference is what your out of conference has always been: Power 5, Group of 5, FCS opponents. And then you just meet up in the championship in the championship game or whatever, and then you play the out of conference stuff there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you can, if you want to manage it, you can manage it and just make it a round robin system in your conference, in your side of the bracket, so it cuts down on travel. You see what I'm saying? So let me go with the once again, thanks Vic Stat for the donation. Mr. Sargent, I'm gonna get to you in a little bit. Says, couldn't we settle the new member differences by looking at TV streaming rating and live attendance? Listen, you could, but a lot of it does come down to brand, right? Some of it's going to come to, like, for the SWAC. Listen, let me be very clear. For the SWAC, that matters. Viewership, live attendance, whatever. In the MEAC, it's all brands, right? Like the SWAC has its brand. We know the Southerns, the FAMs, the Jacksons, the Grambling, right? Ain't nobody watching Prairie View. Ain't nobody watching Prairie View, right? You're okay, Mr. Levette, but Mr. Levette, you're missing my point. Listen what I'm saying. You don't have listen to what I'm saying. You don't have to worry about the travel if you're doing a round robin style within your division. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I split it up, East and West, right? And in the East, it's the farthest team down is going to be the Daytona, right? In Bethune. If I split the East up and you give me the 5, give me the 6 in, give me the 6 in the MEAC, right? Delaware State in the 6. And you add Bethune. I really don't want Delaware State. I'm so sorry. I really don't want Delaware State. So give me the 5 in the MEAC. Give me Bethune, NCAT, Hampton, right? Give me those 3. That gives me 8, right? So give me those 8 or whatever. If I just play round robin, if the 8, the travel is not bad. I'm telling you, the Daytona is the longest travel, right? So Daytona is down here. But North Carolina, A&T, Hampton, Virginia, Morgan, Maryland, D.C., Howard, South Carolina State, Norfolk, Virginia. Like, it's all within your development. It's all in your footprint already. And you just do a round robin style. Whoever comes out of that, then you make it a thing. Then you make it a thing in the championship. When they go to the championship, then they play it. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Sargent, coming to you.
Scotty, what's up, sir?
What's up? Talk to me.
So just a couple of things. I got actually 3 things, and I got to talk about your boy Perry from Outspoken last night, man. I got to say something about that. So, but first and foremost, let me stay on topic. I think it's about time we seriously consider this Super HBCU conference, because it's a reoccurring thing that has been happening since the 90s. Long ago, we used to post on the SWAC page, and I think it was another site out there called the MEAC fans page, and people were talking about this super conference idea. So this has come up so many times that we need to look at it. But the problem is something that you've actually exposed on your channel. The problem isn't the travel, although people are bringing it up. The problem isn't the schedule plus the travel or the logistics or the Celebration Bowl. None of that's the problem. The problem isn't even the money. The problem is we got administrators like good old Larry and his FAMU foolishness. We got commissioners that are looking out for themselves, and we don't have the level of financial and, let's say, visionary maturity in our ADs across the HBCU landscape. There may be a few that are good. I think you brought on the AD of Alabama A&M, if I'm not sure. He sounds like a very positive, forward-looking type of brother. But we got the big girl in charge, and she's gonna do what she want to do.
Facts.
And we got all these other ADs that are just not there yet. So it really isn't a function of any of those things that people have brought up. It's just whether or not we have forward-looking, visionary people in the AD space and our presidents to make this happen and to move us forward and along. Remember, and I told you and Kofi this the first time I called, which when the first AD I met, the AD at FAMU in the early 90s, he felt it wasn't even his responsibility to raise money for the football team. And he had a future Hall of Famer coach, Ken Riley, as the coach.
Yeah.
I'm just like, whoa, dude, you got one of the best people ever, and you don't want to raise money for your football team? Right? Like, so it's really getting those type of people together and letting them see the value of this. I don't even believe it has to be, self-started, meaning the AD at Jackson State reaches out to the AD here, AD there. I don't even think we need to wait for that. It can be something that the fans want, and that'll give it enough power and momentum to move forward. So I got to make one last comment about Perry and the show the other night. I'm just getting caught up. I apologize. I've been really busy.
You're fine.
Perry has made just one classic mistake in his way too early predictions. And I see this year after year with Perry. So So I went back and looked at some of his way too early, or really right as the season began, with some of the SWAC predictions. Southern's always there. He doesn't want to admit that he's biased towards Southern, but Southern's always there. But the other thing that's interesting is when you do way too early, yes, you are way too early for the season that's coming, but you aren't way too late for the season that passed. If he just looked to see that over the past 3-4 seasons, because he likes to talk about decades, FAMU has scored 9 wins. How are we in number 3? Right? Like his whole piece doesn't make sense. I'm okay with you putting FAMU at number 1. I would have gone with number 2 because I'm like, I don't know. We got a new coach. We're kind of in a quote unquote TC Taylor kind of a situation, like TC Taylor was last year. You know, new coach, new players, blah blah blah. So I'm hesitant to put my first foot out there and say FAMU's going to be the champion. I'm like, okay, well, we're going to be there, but let's see how the coach does. I know it's not his first time being a head coach, but it's the first time being a head coach at FAMU. That's it for me, Scotty. Any questions before I leave?
Nah, you good, Mr. Sargent. I appreciate the call as always.
Peace.
All right. Oh, man, the lines is blowing up. Let me get to some of these South Carolinians. I see some 803s in here. 5803 coming to you, then 9115, this match coming to you.
Yeah, my name Deontay. I'm from Charlotte.
What's up, man? Talk to me.
Yeah, so I just wanted to comment on the super conference idea and why it hasn't happened and why it needed to happen. But I actually went to Central and I was a manager for the basketball team while I was there. And Bethune and FAMU was actually still in the conference while I was there. So I done did the traveling before, like Norfolk. A&T down the street, so we don't have to stay in no hotel. We go there, go back.
Yep.
South Carolina, Norfolk, 2 hours away. Maryland, when we had to play Coppin and Morgan, that's maybe 5. Like, you can leave at lunch, be wherever you got to go by dinner. Like, that MEAC travel is really nothing. For real. Except for when you got to go down to Florida. That's it.
That's it. Thank you, sir. That's it.
So I done did it before. I done went to class. I done traveled through the night, then had to go to class in the morning. It's nothing for real. And also on the super conference idea, with everything going on in college athletics, if you put the 2 conferences together and you create a buzz for it and want for it, and I don't know how the business is going right now, but if all the schools and the conference have the rights to their brands and the rights to the conference, what do you think about them getting their own equipment and broadcasting on their own YouTube channel? And then they can run their own commercials, own everything. Until, let's say, the numbers look really good, they get really good feedback, then a bigger like TV channel or a bigger app can come and pick it up.
Okay, so when you're talking about YouTube, you have to be very, very cognizant of how it works. YouTube is it's a great platform, but in the totality of it, it takes a lot to get let me get my thoughts together. You would have to really get some type of consulting from somebody like a Roland Martin, right? And let me tell you why. Because Roland averages about 10 to 12 million views a month. It's not because of his show or whatever. It's because of how he has content going 24/7 on his YouTube channel. It don't matter. Yeah. It don't matter if you wake up at 2 a.m. It don't matter if you wake up at 6 a.m. It don't matter if you at work at 11 o'clock at night. He has something going. So if you're not in the business of running your YouTube channel like a 24/7 broadcast of HBCU sports and content, you're not going to make money. If you think you're just going to do one video, one live event, it's not going to do it. You have to chop it up. You have to keep it going. It has to be, that's a job. It's a job for somebody to keep it rolling. That's the only way that you're even going to make some type of money. You know what I'm saying? But this is the thing. Go ahead. What's your question?
No, I was saying that if it was a conference thing, then they could put together a person or a team to run that type of content.
Okay.
And then on Saturdays, you know, when it's game time, and that's when you go. Of course, you're gonna play the football games or whatever it is.
So then you have to So then you have to break down the math, right?
Saying is, it may not be like a good long-term thing, but it's just like an independent rapper. If you already got a fan base, you might not be getting mainstream money, but what you're getting is profit if you got a fan base. Like everything coming out of your pocket to run your operation, but you'll get the profit back. And then you'll be able to go to the corporations and be like, all right, I did this by myself. If I add y'all to the equation, then look what this could be.
So this is, let me, I get what you're saying because it's called leverage. You have leverage. You can show, hey, this is what I deserve. Right. This is what you would have to take somebody like this, right? This is how I would break it down, because what schools are going to say is, if we step away from ESPN, or if we step away from here, how much are you paying? What I would say is this: how much are you making now with ESPN? We know that each school in the SWAC is making $70,000, right? About $60,000 to $70,000 for football. That is the football basketball contract for ESPN for the SWAC. That's $50,000 to $60,000. That's what they're making, right? So if I can replace that on YouTube, it's a win, because now we own our content, and now we can go.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Now it's a win. But if I can't replace that, if I cannot replace that $40,000 to $50,000 that ESPN is paying per school, then it's a lose. It's a losing situation. So you have to figure out. Right. You have to figure out, can I replace that with YouTube to make my schools leave their contract? I believe you can, because if we're being honest, all they're being paid is, I think it was $750,000, right? And if you get enough views, you can make that work. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But
that's what my thinking was on it.
Yeah. But I would try to go for a media contract, but you know, it is what it is. I think you could have a little. Let me say this,
because I think you could do that type of deal with a Super League. If it's just SWAC, just MEAC, it may not work. But you got to have A&T and FAMU and Jackson State. Like, you can't split it. They got to be together to do that.
I would say this. This is my thing. I would go for the media contract, and I would, if you're, I said 18 teams, right? 18. I got 18 teams in the super conference. Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me do the math real quick. 20 times 18. This is what I believe. I believe we can get a $300 million deal. I think we could get a $350 million deal, right? Which each school gets $20 million. So that's 360. So if we get a 300, that would be, my goal for football or athletics, depending on if you're doing football and basketball, I would want each school to get paid at least $10 to $15 million off of their stuff. That would be my goal. 15 million would be the bare minimum. I would like to get up to 30, but I think if you're in that 15 to 30 range, I think for each school, I think you're winning. I'm gonna reach out to some people to see if I can figure that number out, but I think we're winning on that. But last thing anything before I let you go.
No, I just want to run that idea by you and see if it sounds good to you, because I know you be talking about that all the time with HBCUs and them type of ventures. So I was like, man, let me run this by him because he do YouTube and see if that even sound like that's viable or that's just crazy.
All right, man, I appreciate the call.
All right, no problem.
Let me reach out to somebody. All right, just text somebody. 9115 coming to you.
Hey, Scotty, this is Carlson Green in Columbia, South Carolina. But you forgetting about the old traditional rivalries in the MEAC and in the SWAC.
How so?
Because some of the schools like FAM and South Carolina State used to be a big rivalry. A&T and South Carolina State was a big rivalry. Those were our two biggest rivals when I was in school. And that was back in the 80s. And the suggestion of the Super Conference came up back in the 1980s.
So hold on.
Got it?
Okay. You wouldn't be losing all your rivalries, right? Because you could still have. Okay, let me ask you this: if you're South Carolina State, who's your cross rival?
Our cross rival was A&T back in the day.
Okay, so you can still. Okay, so if I'm moving them to the east side, you still have that. I'll give you two cross rivals, right? South Carolina State and North Carolina.
Exactly. A&T. That's what I was getting ready to say.
Listen,
we need two.
Listen. Who's your second one?
Everybody get two.
Who's your second one?
Maybe Jackson State. Do a cross division rivalry.
No, I'm not.
No,
I'm not giving. You just said FAMU was your biggest rival, and then you're gonna pick Jackson State for your cross rival. That makes sense.
True, but I'm giving you the old. I gave you two old ones and a new one. You got it? You might have to rotate them every few years.
Just like I will get with
just like they do in the Southeastern Conference. They do the same thing in the Southeastern Conference. They got two.
Okay. I'll give you the first. Give me a permanent one and give me one that rotates.
I have to go with I think FAM.
FAM, okay. So your permanent one would be NCAT, right?
Right.
Okay, your permanent one be NCAT. The one that would rotate would be between FAMU and Jackson State. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, I wouldn't be mad at that. All right, too easy.
All
right, too easy. Appreciate the call. All right. So I text somebody. Listen to me very carefully. I know you guys are not going to believe this number, but I text somebody who is in the media business, who negotiates contracts. I said an HBCU super conference, 18 teams. I said, how much would you want each school to be paid in that media deal? He said, I'm saying if you're negotiating to a major deal, like a major label. He said, if I'm negotiating, I'm getting $500 million a year. No question. I'm getting $500 million a year. No question. So what I'm telling you is this, right? What I'm telling you is this. If you're getting 500, okay, because a lot of y'all don't believe it, right? A lot of you are like, oh, Scotty, there's no way. You have to understand. Listen, I'm trying, I really try to get y'all to understand. You guys think it's a Power 5 thing. It's not a Power 5 thing. That's why they're getting $1 billion, right? That's why they're getting $1 billion or whatever. If you can pull $400 to $500 million a year, you can pull that. And the fact that you think you can't is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Smash, coming to you.
Scotty, a few things, man. Well, for one, there's so much shit going on. Anyway, listen, I think that the idea, one thing I like when Dion was at Jackson State is when I think it was Jackson State got that American Airlines deal. I don't know what it was, but I remember they were flying everywhere, right? I think that, somebody who's been around HBC sports a lot, the comfortability of traveling is a thing. If you get a super conference like this, I'm pretty sure you can find an airline that's going to be a corporate sponsor of this conference, correct?
Yeah.
That will make all this so-called traveling, like from Florida to Delaware, easy as hell. Another thing, about if there was start an HBCU network for like YouTube and stuff like that, if they getting all this damn money that you said $500 million, these schools can damn start their own damn network if it's done correctly and be independent on their own. You don't think that can happen either?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I just saying that to kind of clear up the travel, or like I would like to see a network, a airline possibly host a damn classic for the farthest travel game. You know what I'm saying? Just make that easy. But if this super conference, I think it'll be a fire idea, and I don't think it'll be all these problems that everybody's just saying. But once again, administrators and the admin will be the only thing getting these people away. But that's one time, Scotty.
Hey, appreciate it. All right. Listen, I'm bringing in the COO, the co-founder of HBCU League Pass, right? Hardy Pelt. Mr. Pelt.
Hey,
what's going on?
How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. So I need you in the simplest way. You know me, I'm a big thinker. We're talking HBCU Super Conference. We're talking 18 teams, right? I texted you, you said $500 million, $500 million a year. Could you explain how you came up with that number and how you would go about structuring the deal to pull that off?
Yeah, everything. Thanks for having me. I didn't even know this was going on, so I apologize. I was in the middle of another call. But everything is based off impression. Everybody thinks it's based off something else, but it's not. It's also based off the fact that Black people spend more money than anybody else in the world. We spend about $1.6 to $1.8 trillion. So HBCUs represent to the brands and the agencies a hell of a lot of impressions and a hell of a lot of buying power that the brands want. Okay. Now, the reason why HBCUs have never gotten the money is because they never had a vehicle from which the buyers could actually buy the impressions. So what we do right now, for example, for the GCAC, the reason why the GCAC builds as much money as it does is because the buyers can actually buy it in a bunch of different ways. Online video, on what they call over the top or OTT, programmatically, which is just money all day, every day, conveniently put together. So if I put together an HBCU super conference, let's just say the MEAC, for example, took the MEAC and brought in the other schools to support it, immediately I would monetize everything about the conference that they don't do now. And because of that, immediately the brands would start jumping on it because they would say, now I can buy KPIs, write that down. KPIs means
key performance indicators.
Public indicators. That's the person that they're trying to reach. So if they're trying to reach an 18-year-old that loves Snickers, as long as you have a way for them to buy it, you make a ton of money. That's the simplest way as I can put it. The reason why the HBCUs have never been able to do this is because they always sold their stuff away. So SWAC sold their stuff to ESPN. So ESPN makes the money. They just only pay the SWAC $700,000 to do so. Same thing with Byron and what they did over at HBCU Go. They just paid them $1 million and put the rest of the money in their pocket. Does that make sense?
Yes. So
the way we do it, we just disrupted the marketplace and said, I'm going to give the GCAC a percentage of what we bring in. And that's why they make more money than the rest of them.
Let me kind of simplify this down for the people, right? So essentially, because a lot of people are going to ask, well, let's say you strike a deal with Apple TV. How is Apple going to pay us $500 million and still make a profit off of bringing us on their platform?
Great question. So they wouldn't. That's why we keep our own product. Remember, we make ESPN Plus. ESPN Plus made $5.1 billion in the fourth quarter. And that's because Black people went and got the subscription. They just didn't give you a piece of what they made. If somebody found out tomorrow Urban Edge Network made $5 billion and gave the GCAC $700,000, y'all would burn it down around here. Y'all would kill us. So it's not about Apple TV. It's about our own platform. You're right. Apple TV would pay you $500 million only if they wanted you to succeed, but they don't. Now they'll take your stuff and make $500 million off you. But we're here to change the paradigm to say, no. That conference is really worth $500 million. It's just they're going to share in the revenue that comes along with it, if that makes sense.
So essentially what you're saying is if you had, so if you're the so let's just, I'm putting you as a commissioner of a super conference with 18 teams. You're saying, Scotty, I'm going to get advertising money in dollars and bring it in with the KPIs and impressions that these schools bring in. And on top of that, if you did decide to negotiate with a Fox or CBS or whatever, it is a percentage deal, not a or a lease to own type of deal? Or how would that go about?
Yeah, so when we go to upfronts every year, upfronts wants to know this year, for example, what do y'all have coming up for the third and fourth quarters of the year? And this is prior to. So let me give you a real life example. The Bayou Classic, for example, was paying NBC $2 million to be on TV. When we found out about it, I ain't afraid to tell you, we said, hell no, don't you pay them no more money. And the reason why is because, first of all, you're the ones that's creating the money for them, okay? Then you turned around and so finally the NBC said, no, you don't have to pay us $2 million, guys. But for your commercials that you want to run with your sponsors, we're still going to charge you. And we told them, no. Go back and tell them, no, you want half of the advertising that they already sold in the upfront. Because it's all based off KPIs and impressions. I want to be clear. It's not based on ratings like they tried to tell black people before. It is off KPIs and impressions. And when you have that many schools in one conference, the culmination of student, alumni, and all the fans is more of a buying public. Let's be clear. You got more people that are in the 1.6 to 1.8 trillion buying public that the brands know about and say, I need to spend more money to get that person to buy my product. That's the formula.
So overall, tell me real quickly, how would you structure a deal to get $500 million for a super conference?
So I would say to any platform coming to me, I would say, you're going to pay me at least $2 million per each school. And then you're going to give me 30 to 40% of the ad revenue that comes in based off the impressions.
Got you.
And by formula, you should be minimum at $500 million.
Got you. So I get it. So the bare minimum would be that each school will receive you can guarantee that each school will receive $2.5 million. And then based off what the industries are bringing in advertising to put into the games, to put into showing those games, the conference would also receive 30 to 40% of what they're bringing in advertising dollars wise.
Correct. So, for example, if the conferences had told ESPN, you're going to pay me $2 per subscriber on ESPN Plus, they would have walked away with probably $600-700 million.
Woo!
They just didn't ask because they didn't know to ask. They probably didn't even know it was available to
them. All right, Mr. Pell, thank you so much. I appreciate you for breaking it down.
Hey, thank you, brother. Reach out.
It's So, listen, at the end of the day, okay, let me just say this. Let me just keep it above. No school is making $1 million off their TV contract. No school is making $1 million net off of their TV contract. Let's just keep that. Currently, I'm saying currently, no school, currently, nobody is making $1 million off of their school's TV contract deal. If you showing your own game or anything like that, you're not doing it. So nobody can scoff at somebody saying, hey, you would get a guaranteed $2.5 million. You can't scoff at it because you ain't getting it. Okay? That's just number one. Number two, it's the same thing I said about the HBCU Go deal, that you should have leased your content instead of selling your content to HBCU Go, right? So you could have been growing with HBCU Grow, right? That's the thing. If UFC brings in ESPN money, not HBCU, you're smacked. You don't know what you're talking about. All right. So what I'm saying to this is that at the end of the day, you have to understand your value and to understand what you're bringing in, because unlike, and I'm going to just keep it a buck with this one, unlike the other FCS brands, when you bring in a HBCU conference, you are guaranteed eyeballs. Guaranteed. You know you guaranteed eyeballs. And you're guaranteed that Bamas are going to pay to be on your subscription. It just is what it is. HBCU fans will follow the football. That just is what it is. So I'm gonna just keep it real. Mr. Pelt says $500 million. I probably wouldn't go that high because I don't know all the advertising dollars, right? But I do like the 30 to 40% of advertising. So if you give me the base model of 2 million, 2.5 million, I could literally see, based off the 30 to 40%, that you're pushing 15 million per school. I don't see nothing wrong with you pulling in 15 million per school or 20 million per school, and that gets you at 360. So you're literally at $300 million a year that you're probably bringing in. I can see that working. That's all I'm going to say with that. All right, listen. That has been my time, guys. We're going to talk way more about this HBCU conference because I really, really feel at this point there's a crumbling coming in the NCAA. There is a shakeup coming in the NCAA. It is a great time to try to do your own thing within this new system of college athletics, because we all understand the FCS cannot compete on those levels with the big boys. The group of five can't. So you need to be in a mindset of understanding that change is coming. All right. Listen. The Board of Trustee meeting is around the corner. All right, 3 o'clock right here on the channel. I'll be streaming the Board of Trustee meeting. Don't miss it. Be here. Listen, if you would like to give to our baby registry, the link is in the description below. Our baby shower is this Friday. We appreciate this Saturday, I'm sorry. This Saturday is our baby shower. We'll appreciate anything given. Baby shower, link in the description below. Come back here, 3 o'clock, Board of Trustee meeting. Listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless. And let me say this. The saddest thing about dealing with HBCU alums and their mindset is not understanding the value of what you are. And listen, if you own a business or have ever owned a business or have ever worked for yourself, you know the hardest thing is setting a value for your services of what your true value is. And it takes time to really understand what your value is and what your value is deserved of your time, right? It's the same thing for HBCU alums. I'm going to bang and beat the drum of not settling for mediocre and understanding your value in the space of advertising, in the space of live sports, in the space of having your own brand and market. It's there. You're worth $300 million a year. Don't let nobody tell you you're not. It's very simple. And to me, that's the floor. You're worth $300 million a year together, collectively, right? Like in soul food. Like this, you can't do nothing. But together, you strike a mighty blow. All right? You strike a mighty blow. Listen, catch y'all at 3. Peace.